Good afternoon. Welcome to the Joy Show. I'm Barbara Schreiner Trudell, your host. I'm also the founder and spiritual director of the Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Welcome, welcome. So I wanted to begin today, as I always do, with a land acknowledgement. And I am honored to be living, working, and playing on lands that have been stewarded for millennia by our first people. The Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. And it is now home to many diverse First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people. And I acknowledge our oneness and the sacredness of this land, and I feel privileged to be able to work on it. So we are one. I'm so excited today. Now, I was supposed to have a special guest, and unfortunately, something's come up that is not going to happen. So today, I want to share with you this thing that I do. Ever since I began studying the science of mind, there has been a sense of joy and appreciation for what we call spiritual mind treatment. And it has been something that I love doing. It is my favorite thing to do. And I'm truly excited and delighted to be able to share with you what that actually is if you're not familiar with it. So I call treatment this thing that I do. What I found when I was studying to become a practitioner and to become a minister, that one of the things I did was to work with people who knew nothing about the Centers for Spiritual Living, knew nothing about the science of mind, Ernest Holmes, and people would come to me with health issues or challenges, and I would just offer, well, there's this thing that I do. Would you like me to do it with you? And always they would say yes. They didn't know what it was, but they were saying yes to it anyway. So I started doing this in the real estate office where I was working. I started doing it in my home, on the phone, wherever. And so it has continued for the better part of 25, 28 years. And the thing that I do is spiritual mind treatment. It is a way of affirming a new idea and transforming our minds into a greater vision of possibility for what we hope for in the future. One of the questions that I always ask, well, there's actually two, but the first is, what do you want? Well, what do you want? Like, if you could wake up tomorrow and the day is exactly your dream day, what would that look like? And the second question is, how would you feel emotionally if you had that? So those two questions tend to shape the energy, the vibration of the treatment work that I do. And healing is such a remarkable thing because it is really a revealing of something that's always been. And that's why we can restore it. That's why we can restore health. That's why we can restore our wealth, our relationships, because we open our mind to shifting our belief system. Change your thinking, change your life. So the treatment process is really a very, very simple process. We begin by acknowledging that there's a power in the universe, an infinite power. We acknowledge that it's everywhere present equally. It's all powerful, and it's also all knowing. So we're tapping into that universal oneness. And by doing that, we are in fact acknowledging that behind this physical experience, there's something bigger, brighter, greater, something that we can tap into. Well, in fact, we're tapping into it all the time, whether we know it or not. And the way it operates is through our consciousness. So there is where sometimes the challenge lies, right? Because if I'm focused on fear, that energy coming through recreates and expands the ideas of fear. So we want to really pay attention to how we use the words, the thoughts, the activity of our mind in our life, and where we focus our attention and what kinds of intentions we set. The second step of treatment is acknowledging that I am part of it, right? So first off, we know that there is a recognition of a power in the universe that's infinite. And the second step is knowing I'm one with it. It's unification. So I unify with that principle, I unify with that idea, and know that if there is a presence that's all powerful, well, then I must have the ability to express that power as well. I must be one with it. Because if there's only one thing going on, I must live, move, and have my being in it, not separate from, right? We don't teach duality, we teach oneness, unity. So, really important that we come to understand this. The third step of treatment is realization. Now, this is where we will state in the affirmative, in the positive, always present tense, the desires of our heart, whatever that looks like. So, if we were looking at relationships, we might sit back and say, I am love. I am the divine energy and expression of love, and I reveal it through my relationships, my connections. I am one with all that is. So we create that energy, that union, that idea. And regardless of what you're looking for, whether it's health or wealth or love, again, affirmative, first person, present tense. The fourth step of treatment is gratitude. I am so grateful that whatever I just said in the realization step is a done deal. And the interesting thing about gratitude is that because we're kind of wired to say thank you when we receive something, the mind goes, "Oh, I've already got it." Right? There's this connection, the synapses in the brain starts to absolutely go, "Oh, it must already be here because I have said, I have made the declaration, and then I've turned around and acknowledged it by saying thank you." And of course, the very last step of treatment is the letting go, the release step. I release my word into the law of mind, knowing it is done. So let me give you a little sample here of what this would look like. There is one intelligence in the universe, one power, one presence, one infinite divine energy of love and light that is fully present, fully active, fully available. It is all powerful, all knowing. It is everywhere present equally. So I know it is right here where I am. I am one with this power. I am one with this presence. I am one with this infinite creative potential and possibility. And as such, I am powerful. I am love. I am light. I am joy. I am peace. I am the all in the all of it. And so I know that I am love. I know that I am wealth. I know that I am health. That my body responds to this idea of unification and oneness. It absolutely responds, and the cells restore themselves instantly, immediately, and health is fully realized. I'm strength and vitality, peace and joy. I am two very powerful words. And of course, I am grateful. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for the beauty of this day. I'm grateful for peace on earth. I'm grateful for love finding its way in and through me now, always, and forever. I am grateful that this is already fully realized. And I release this idea into the law of mind, for I know it's done, immediately acted upon, and returned to me in a manifest form as stated. And I release, I let go, and so it is. The idea of treatment, of course, that was a very vague step in that direction, but I hope it gives you a little idea of what we're talking about here. Is that we want to set clear intentions of what it is we want. We want to ask for, and not even just ask for, we want to demand, make a demand on the universe for what it is that we desire in our lives. The universe says yes. It's the only thing it can say. Yes. Now, always, and forever. Whatever's going on, whatever it is that I'm dreaming about, whatever it is that I imagine for my life, when I set a clear intention that is not interrupted with negativity, fear, doubt, and worry, then it will manifest. Now, I know I've shared that I went to a convention in June and came back with a healing. I went with a clear intention. I am healed. That was my intention. There was no opposing idea. There was nothing in my mind that went, oh, maybe, or oh, what if, what may. No, it was just clear. I am healed. And sure enough, on the Thursday morning, a complete healing took place. I have had spinal stenosis, and that is the narrowing of the spinal column putting pressure on the nerves, causing extreme pain. And I don't have that anymore. Gone. I walked into the conference hall that Thursday morning and I walked out completely healthy. So the process was an instantaneous one. When we clear our mind of doubt, worry, and fear, when we focus on, we live in a universe that is infinite in scope, powerful, intelligent. When we begin to tap into that and accept that as the truth, what happens is healing becomes spontaneous. It's not something that we have to get to one day. It's something that happens in the moment that we accept a bigger idea or vision for our life, a greater possibility or potential for what could be. And when we think about this journey that we're on, and we think about how powerful we really are, that begins to change it, not just for us, but for everyone. So we are moving in this world. Now, we might be looking at the world today going, well, there's been COVID and now Omicron, and, this monkey thing is coming. And oh my goodness, there's all this stuff. And there's racial unrest, and there's all kinds of poverty, and people have lost their jobs, and vaccines. What are we going to do with that? Question, question, question. Fear, 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 doubt, worry, watching the news, hearing all the bad stuff that's happening. So who's reporting the good stuff? Well, that'll be 5 o'clock Mountain Time right here. Good news on the New Thought Media Network. What we want to do, it's not that we want to bury our head in the sand and pretend that there isn't anything going on in the world. What we want to do is look at what's going on in the world, pardon me, and acknowledge that although it is discordant, even though there is dis-ease, even though there is discomfort, what we want to acknowledge in this moment is that this too can change. This too can change. The minute that I begin, pardon me, to retrain my thinking, in the moment that I retrain how I focus my attention, how I use language, how I show up in the world, my judgment, my criticism, my fear, my doubt, when I begin to eradicate those things and instead take time each day within my spiritual practice, within my journey, to begin to see a greater potential and possibility for my life, but for life in the collective, what happens is a transformation occurs. And it is immense. If my attention is focused on love, right? Because I believe love is the answer regardless. And by love, I'm talking about the unifying force that is this universe. So we've all heard about the law of attraction. But do we understand it? What is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is like looking in a mirror. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? I see this, right? It is reflecting back to me exactly what I am. The law of attraction will bring into our life experience a matching vibration of who and what we are. So if we're angry all the time, what's going to happen is that's the energy that's moving out, and that is the attracting force. And so we begin to create in our lives more and more experiences that cause us to react in that fashion. When we are very loving, relaxed, calm, and kind, what happens is things around us, it's not that there isn't a bad thing that happens, but our response to it is different. Some people who just sort of let everything just roll off their shoulders. It's like, it is what it is. And others who are fighting every little detail. So we want to just pay attention to the way that we react, respond, and what we aspire to in this world. Imagine for a moment that you are so powerful that you can create harmony in your family, that you can create wealth in your life and the life of those around you, that you can have a healthy body and a healthy mind. Not someday, but right here, right now. If we begin knowing that our words have power, knowing that our thoughts are creative, knowing that whatever we put out into the universe is coming back to us multiplied, all we have to do is check in. What is it that I'm putting out there? What kind of energy am I putting out there? Am I being in integrity with my actions? And if not, it's not to judge it, but to acknowledge that, I could do that better. Are we forgiving? Do we forgive others for mistakes they've made? Do we forgive ourselves for mistakes that we've made? Are we willing to love what we see in the mirror? Do we love ourselves enough to really shine in the world? Do we love ourselves enough to be what we were created to be? You know, this show, The Joy Show, right? Joy for me is an acronym, and it means just one you. Just one you. See, I believe that every single person on the planet today, and I understand that come November we'll be up to 8 billion. So 8 billion individualized expressions of this one universal intelligence. How exciting is that? Everyone a little bit different, but everyone valuable, unique, special. See, every one of us brings our light to the world, whatever that looks like. And we can create with a great sense of excitement and delight when we allow ourselves to be who we truly are. Now, I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of years wishing I could be different, wishing I could be someone else, something else, that somehow how I was created wasn't good enough. How about you? Have you ever had that thought? That somehow you wish you looked different, or you were taller or shorter, or you were born somewhere else, or that somehow you did different type of work, or that somehow people would acknowledge or appreciate. Have you ever had those feelings? I think most of us have at some point in time or another. And that's okay. But we don't want to live there. What we want to do is find a way to reconcile who we truly are with the way we live in the world, and to acknowledge that however we're showing up, whatever it is that we're doing, we are expressing a universal intelligence through our individual expression. It's like we're a conduit for that divine energy, that energy of, I call it love, but it really is what it is. I don't know. We can't begin to describe this divine energy. It's beyond our finite scope to be able to see or experience or acknowledge the infinite. So I invite you to think about your life right now. Think about the things that are working for you and the things that aren't. And it's okay, because all of us have things that aren't working the way we want them to. But what if everything that's happening in your life is bringing you to a greater understanding of life itself? That although you face a challenge, that back of that challenge, there is a revelation. That as we acknowledge whatever is happening, that we actually, if we surrender into it and don't question it or label it bad and wrong, but go, wow, what is this? Where's this bringing me to? Then what happens is we are lifted out of the challenges, the conundrums, and we're restored to wholeness. And that restoration happens quickly, immediately. There's no hesitation or reservation. And that's what's so cool about spiritual mind treatment, is that we're speaking into the universal consciousness where we are all one. So if I do treatment for you, I'm not doing anything. I am connecting us at that universal subjective level. And there, because you have asked for treatment, because you are receptive to treatment, you will be impacted by it because you've chosen it. It's not that I'm doing magic, because I'm not. I'm merely assisting you in realizing a greater potential for your life, a greater realization of who you really are, allowing you to see yourself in a bigger, brighter, more beautiful way. And we're tapping into that universal power, going, yes, I am that. Yes, I am ready. Yes, this is it. This is my time to shine, to be that light in the world that lifts and expands and grows consciousness into a place of love and peace and possibility. Are you ready for that? Are you ready to be who you were created to be, to stand in this moment with a sense of, yes, I am enough. I don't need to be different. I don't need to accept what somebody else said about me. I don't need to limit myself to make somebody else feel safe and secure. Anybody ever do that? Where all of a sudden there's something you want to say or do, and you pull yourself back because you're afraid of, offending somebody, or maybe you decide on a career because mom said it was good, or dad, or your therapist, or somebody in the business world went, oh, here, you'd be great at this, and so you go and do it, but you hate it. There's so many people who are doing this right now, and it creates great dissatisfaction. But there's something in each one of us that is powerful and positive and productive and beautiful. And when we tap into that, idea, then we begin to live an authentic life. And that's the sacred journey. That's the probably the path, the road less traveled, because we're needing to find our true voice. We need to find that part of us that is clear and concise. See, the universe is individualized as each one of us, and through that we express wholeness by all showing up with our piece. It's, I sometimes think of a tapestry, I've got this beautiful tapestry hanging in a museum. If one thread out of the millions in there, if one thread was missing, it's amazing how the eye would find that flaw. And I think sometimes we've been told that we're flawed. We've been told that something about us isn't good enough, and I'm here to tell you that that's all not true. That's the BS. That's the stories that we sometimes say to people because we're uncomfortable with how somebody is really. But when we let go of that desire to change others, when we let go of the fear of being who we really are, when we stand in our full potential, what happens is there's a transformation that occurs that is really deep and beautiful. And the universe says yes to us, always. So if I think I'm an idiot, the universe says yes. If I think I'm powerful and fabulous and I love what I'm doing, the universe says yes. If I believe that I am a healthy, vital, creative being, the universe says yes. If I believe in wealth, and I believe in health, and I believe in love, and all of that is the very essence, and I live that, what happens is more of that is drawn to me because the universe says yes. But if I'm questioning, if I'm fearful, then that fear gets impacted. That fear gets expanded because the universe says yes. So when we come back, we're going to go to a little commercial break here in just a moment. And when we come back, I want to take us through a treatment for health. And I think maybe I'll take us through a treatment for wealth. And how about peace? We'll be right back. This is The Joy Show with Barbara Schreiner Trudell.
New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
New Thought Media Network is on the rise. We're looking to grow with you. Do you have technical media experience or perhaps a desire to learn? Are you willing to volunteer your precious time and attention? We share this message to benefit all. If you possess a computer with a camera and a microphone, we will share our knowledge with you. Behind the scenes or being the star, let us bless our one. Contact us at info@ntmedia.org.
Welcome back. I'm Barbara Schreiner-Trudell, affectionately called Rev B, and this is The Joy Show. And I am really excited to share with you some ideas that for me have been life-changing. When I found this teaching, I was living a very different existence, and I've managed to heal many areas of my life, create a loving family, a loving relationship. We're coming up to 20 years, an opportunity to heal my body, but also an opportunity to heal my relationships, which of course is a continuous journey for all of us, that we find ways to be peaceful and loving with one another. And what I'm going to do is do a couple of treatments with you. But I wanted to share with you something that Ernest Holmes wrote in The Science of Mind. He said, "The subjective mind never argues, nor contradicts what is put into it. The thought is at once accepted and acted upon." And that's what we're talking about today, is that whatever I think about, whatever I dwell upon, whatever I focus my attention on, the universe says yes to it. It's like planting a seed in the garden. When I plant a seed in the soil, the seed eventually germinates, pops through, and comes into full fruition. Now, if I plant carrots, I'm not going to get zucchini. If I plant roses, I will not have tulips. When I plant an idea in mind, the subjective mind, where I connect in the universal oneness, says yes to whatever I put in there. Garbage in, garbage out. I know that might sound harsh, but that is how it works. So think for a moment about your garden and how you tend to it. You pull the weeds out, you plant the beautiful flowers, fruits, vegetables that you truly want, and they grow and bloom because the weeds, negative thinking, has been pulled out, removed. So let us do a treatment for health. So join with me in consciousness as we speak this word into the law of mind. There is one creative power in the universe, one infinite divine essence, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present. I call it source, universe, first cause, light, love, God, Allah, whatever word I use. What I know is it's infinite everywhere present, all-knowing, all-powerful. And because I know this, I know that it's right here where I am. I am one with it. And it is in that oneness that I know that I am powerful, I am creative, that my imagination, my words have power, that what I think about, I bring about. And so I honor that path and that truth, and I know that health is my birthright. Every cell in my body is strong, vital, and vibrant. I am health. I am strength. My mind is clear and focused, and my body reflects divine energy in everything that I think, say, and do. And for this, I'm truly grateful. I'm grateful for the health and divine strength, the beauty, the wonder of this form. I'm grateful for this temple that I live in, that provides me with a sacred and safe place to live, to express, and to be. And it is with great gratitude and joy that I take all of these ideas and I release them into the law of mind, for I know it is done. All is well. I let it be, and so it is. So that is a treatment for health. We're talking about the one power, the fact that if there's only one thing in the universe, then I must be some part of it. I acknowledge what it is I'm asking for, right? I am health, not I'm going to be healthy, right? Remember the affirmation, positive, affirmative, present tense, that everything is done now. It's not something we're going to get. It's not a place we're going to go. It is a here and now reality. So we know that now is the point of power. You see, the past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist, right? Past is done, can't change it. Future hasn't arrived yet. But right here, right now is my point of power. So when we are doing treatment, this thing that I do, we do it in the now moment. So we're not going to get healthy. That would be putting it into the future, which means it ain't happening, at least not until I accept it now. Now is our point of power. Now is the point of creativity. Now is that place where I can create. So I want you to just think about language a little bit, the words that we use and the way that we use them. You know, we'll use words like try. What is that? You either pick up the cup and have a sip, or you don't. There is no try. Yeah, Yoda. There's a do or don't do. And when we're speaking, when we speak in the first person, right? First person, present tense, positive, right? Because we don't want to affirm our fear, our lack, our limitations, our doubts, right? We don't want to affirm that because we got enough of that going on. We don't need to add to it. We want to affirm that right here, right now, I'm a powerful, creative, imaginative being filled with love and light, and I'm tapped into a universe that says yes to my grandest vision, my greatest desire. And so it's up to me to, just relax myself into that, to accept it as the truth, and then from there to live it out loud. And when the doubts come up, to go, oh, wait a minute, buddy, backseat, you don't get to drive anymore. And we reaffirm a greater idea. So if you all of a sudden got a stack of bills coming in, it's coming to the first of the month, you got a stack of bills coming in, and you're thinking, oh man, since COVID hit, I'm not making as much money, or, I haven't received what I expect, and oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Where's the focus? The focus is on lack, limitation, fear, doubt, worry. That's what's being planted. It's like planting weeds in a vegetable garden. We're not doing that. So we want to look at that and go, wow, I'm feeling some fear. So let me treat. Let me do a treatment that will help me to alleviate that so I can move back into my place of faith and possibility. So let's do a treatment right now for wealth. And remember, wealth means well-being. So it's money, it's health, it's relationships, it's career, it's all of it. having a beautiful, satisfying life. So please join with me in consciousness as we do a treatment for wealth. And we're talking about money right now, okay? So we're going to treat about that. So join with me. As I quiet my mind and open my heart, I accept and know that there is one power in the universe, one infinite creative something. I call it God or spirit, light or love, universe, first cause. Whatever word I choose to use, what I know is that from my finite perspective, I couldn't even begin to comprehend the infinite. But I accept that it is. There is one power. I live, move, and have my being within it. I am a divine part of it, an expression of it. I am a conduit of possibility as I open my mind and heart and allow this energy to flow. And I open my mind and I change anything that needs to be changed, for I welcome wealth into my life here and now. I am prospered. Money is merely the activity of the divine in the financial affairs of this world, of my life. And I know that it flows easily, harmoniously, continuously, that it is merely energy moving, and I accept it, I allow it, I'm grateful for it, I love it even. It fuels my home, it fuels my life, it fuels my existence, and I welcome it with grace and love, with joy and appreciation. And I know that as I receive this bounty, as I see every bill paid in full, as I see this flow, this universal flow, I feel peaceful, relieved, comfortable, joyful, excited, and delighted. This is a beautiful day, and I am grateful that all of my physical needs are cared for, that all that I have need of is right here. And I'm grateful that I always have plenty to share and to spare. So grateful for wealth, grateful for money flowing in and through life, grateful for a journey of positive, productive well-being. I take all of these ideas and release it into the divine mind. And it is immediately returned to me as infinite prosperity. I receive it with grace. All is well. And so it is. So again, we're talking about the movement of energy, and that's all the universe is. A system of energy. And that system is always operating. And it's operating equally for every single one of us. And if we're experiencing some great challenge in our lives, what happens for most of us, I know what happens for me, is my focus will go to the problem. And as long as I focus on the problem, I hold it in place. Anything I resist persists in my life. So it is my great hope that through this time together, this hour, that something said or done will cause you to shift your perspective about life and living, about where you focus and how you focus and what is possible for you. This thing that I do is not magic. It is a reconditioning of a thought process. And as I change my thinking, I change my life. Now, I've done this. I've done this big time. My life has had its ups and downs, lots of them. I didn't start here. I've arrived here after years of study, years of application, taking these ideas and putting them into practice. And so every day there's a process that I go through of treatment, of meditation, of journaling, forgiveness work, gratitude, writing gratitude. Focusing on gratitude is just one of the most powerful ways that we can be fully present and create a great life of harmony and excitement and beauty. Whatever it is that we desire in life, we can have it if we're willing to accept it. And it's like sometimes we'll say to ourselves, well, of course I'm willing. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be sick anymore. But where are our thoughts going? If we really take a look at our thinking, where is it focused? Because I know when I was having severe back pain, my focus was on my back pain. It was hard to not focus there. It was hard to not go to that place of, oh, this has just got to go away. But this has just got to go away is a resistance to the current reality. And what we resist persists. So there's a shift that has to take place. And that shift is a mental shift. It's our thinking that has to be different. And I get pushback sometimes from people because it's like, oh, so I'm to blame for this. And it's not about that. You see, we live in oneness, right? So there's a consciousness, a collective consciousness of humanity. And if you've ever watched the news and seen, how many people are watching that news story, because we know it's millions, billions probably. What happens is the negativity is so prevalent, it has to touch us. It must, because we're all part of this one thing. And if fear and doubt and worry are the prevalent thought patterns, which I believe they are, then there's a consciousness required to take us out of that. And it's really challenging for many of us to look at the effect in front of us and not have it draw our focus. But the effect is merely that. It is an effect. What we want to do is go back to first cause. Just imagine we're on computers right now, so we all have some understanding of a computer. If I put a virus in my computer, accidentally, because somehow it wormed its way in, am I to blame for that? Or is it the person who created the virus and sent it through? And really, is it about blame? Or do I instead take my computer and either buy a new one and put some safety stuff on it, or, because, that's my technical term for it, or I take it somewhere and have it cleaned out and fixed and repaired, right? So it is with consciousness. If I'm focused on everything that's wrong in the world, everything that's wrong in my life, everything that's going wrong around me, if that's my focus, then I'm living in that vibration of fear, doubt, and worry. I'm in the collective. What we want to do is pull ourselves out of that. And that's what spiritual mind treatment does. In the moment that we treat, we are rewiring our thinking. And as we rewire that thinking, we change the life that we're living. And I know this works because I've done it. I remember years ago as being a heavy smoker. And one day I woke up and went, I can't do this anymore. It's killing me. Now, I was smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. So we're talking, heavy isn't even the word for it. And I'd been a smoker for about 16 years. So it wasn't like I just started and I was a heavy, heavy smoker. And I tried to quit many times, unsuccessfully. Why? Because I was focused on how hard this is and how difficult it is. And it's an addiction and I can't give it up. And I would go back. But when I quit, I had this idea that this is a sacred temple of a divine energy. And I do not have the right to destroy it. And I quit. Didn't take time. It took one moment. I butted out that last cigarette and went, that's it. Till the next one. There's never been a next one. And it's coming up on 40 years since I quit. Yes, I'm that old. So this idea that we can change. Now, here's the interesting thing about quitting smoking for anybody who's ever done this or anything you've tried to quit that was an addiction. I never once had a craving, not a day after, not an hour after, not a month after, not a year after. Never have I had a craving. And that's a rarity, isn't it? But that's what happens when the mind is shifted completely. The effect immediately goes away. There isn't a timeline for this. Once my mind is right, my life moving forward now is on a new trajectory. This is the power of the mind. Our minds are so creative, so powerful, so remarkable. And we play with them like they're nothing. Oh, it doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what I say. But what if it does? What if by changing your thinking, changing the way you think about you, your world could be fantastic in whatever way you want it to be, right? It's not about what somebody else wants. It's about what you want. Are you ready for health and vitality and strength? Are you ready for vision and wisdom? Are you ready for peace and joy? Are you ready for love and for health? So you can have that. You can have it right now, right this moment. This is the reason why I always ask how a person would feel if they have it. Because if you want wealth and you go, well, if I didn't have all these bills piled up or if I had enough money coming in, I'd feel relieved. Well, relief is what we're going to treat about. I am relieved. I am relief. I am accepting of this possibility, this new idea. So we're speaking about it like it's already done. And the reason we do that is because the mind is so powerful. What we give it, it's just like your computer. What you put in comes out. If you sit down and start hitting you're making a Word document and you're just typing any old letter, any old thing, and you print it out, it's going to be nonsense. Does that mean you're bad and wrong? No, it means you were playing on the computer, creating nonsense. It just is what it is. And this is life. This is how we do life. We have been taught, we've been raised to believe in lack and limitation. We have been taught to believe that, oh, well, my dad had a heart attack, so I'm going to have a heart attack. My family has a history of breast cancer. I'm going to have breast cancer. We have decided this. We've accepted this. But there are people who come from those same families who never have those experiences. Why is that? There's a shift in consciousness that we can do that will transform our lives, just like that. Are you ready for that experience? Are you ready to absolutely take your life back, your health, your wealth, love? See, it all begins right here. And the best thing we can do is when we look at life, no matter what it's showing up as, and go, you know what, it is what it is. And I'm choosing to create something new. Because what's happening right now, I'm not all that comfortable with. So I'm going to create a new idea. So we have to look at what it is we really want. And are we willing to pay the price to have it? Because there's a consequence to everything. The universe is exact, right? Everything is in balance. So let's do a treatment about peace. So join with me in consciousness. As I breathe into this moment, I accept and know that there's one power in the universe, one infinite intelligence, one creative divine mind that is the first cause of all things. It is powerful. It is creative. Everywhere present, all-knowing, all-powerful. And so I know it's right here where I am, that it's being me, that it is the cellular structure of my body, it is the activity of my mind, it is the world that I live in. And as I look at my world today, I feel an energy and vibration of peace. I am peace. Regardless of circumstance, I am peace. I am love. I am kindness. I am compassion. I look at the world around me and I see the beautiful places and spots, and I focus my attention on each of those areas. And as I do that, there's an upswell of joy and kindness, respect, and peace becomes the norm. Peace is realized in the moment that I accept it as my experience. As I choose peace, as I live in peace regardless of circumstance, as I live in peace, it grows. And I see the beauty of life, the glorious, beautiful beings of love and peace and joy that permeate our humanity. I see love becoming like a virus that spreads through every person's heart and mind. And peace is right here. It's right here where I am. It is being me. I welcome it. I embrace it. And I am truly grateful for it. I'm grateful for a world that is supportive of one another. I'm grateful for humanity that looks around and offers service, kindness, and compassion. I'm grateful that this life is so beautiful, satisfying, and fulfilling. And it is with a grateful heart that I choose love, that I choose peace. It is with a grateful heart that I accept this day for all that it is and all that it could be. I am peace. And I release these ideas into the law of mind where I know it is done, immediately acted upon. All is well. And so it is. We're on a journey, and how we view it matters. How we speak about it matters. Our intentions, our thoughts, the words that we use, the way that we treat ourselves, most especially. The way we think about ourselves. The way we think about our families and our friends. How we think about our enemies, the people who are different than us. All of this creates consciousness. And depending on what it is that I really aspire to, what it is that I really want to have in my life, I must focus my thinking in harmony with this universal oneness, this infinite power. As I focus my attention in a loving, harmonious way, there's a transformation that occurs not just for me, but for the people around me as well. That's the power of this, is it's not about one. It's not about me, it's about we. Because there's only one thing going on. There's only one of us here. There's one infinite, divine creator. And it's an energy, and we live, move, and have our being in it. And we draw upon it, and we use it according to our own consciousness. And the beautiful thing about treatment is that it will shift our thinking. It will shift our expression, our experience. And by doing that, it creates a healing in our life. But for every person who finds their voice, finds their true essence, finds the harmony that they've been seeking, for each one who gets there, for each person who lives in peace, it expands the universal collective energy. Race consciousness is impacted. And because it's impacted, there's possibility for anything. And I've seen it happen so many times where I've done treatment work with someone who wants health and their bodies have been restored. For somebody who's looking for work and they find work. The journey that we're on is not so difficult and hard when we begin to reframe the words that we use, the way that we think about life, and how we perceive those around us. When we stop expecting life to be hard, there's another 4-letter word we can use that makes it much better. I changed it for myself a while ago. Life is easy. Still 4 letters, right? Not a big difference. Go from hard to easy. That's how easy this is, how simple it is to really begin to look at the words we use, the words we think, right? Because what we're thinking, those are words we're using. So if we think we're limited, if we think we're small, if we think we're, not good enough, well, we get to be right. But in the moment that we accept that we are created in the image and likeness of this infinite energy that is the creator, it is the universe, when we begin there, what happens is we become all that we imagined we could be. It's a journey. Life is a journey filled with potential. And you, my friend, are powerful beyond anything you ever even imagined for yourself. So I invite you to live your best life. Find your voice. Find your true, sacred, authentic self. And allow that energy to create your days moving forward. And should you want spiritual mind treatment, I'm available anytime. Rev B at cslonthelake.com. Have a most glorious day, beautiful weekend, and I'll see you again next time. This is The Joy Show, and I'm Barbara Schreiner Trudell. Bye for now.